Did you see when I interviewed Lil Xan?
Well, I didn't actually see it, but I was meaning to watch it last night.
I mean, whatever, dude. Like, don't trip. You can imagine like
Yeah.
what like kind of what it was.
Yo, because
but-
I know Lil Xan very well, because he was basically like a random kid hanging out at my store, and then all of a sudden he's just huge.
Right. I got very interested in the Lil Xan story because of like just I don't know, some like really well put together video about what was going on.
Sonny
with him.
V2.
Correct. Yeah. That's a great channel, dude.
He's good, yeah.
It's a really good channel.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sonny V2.
He's on a run. He fucking millions and millions of views on everything he does. Yeah.
Yeah, he's. I remember I watched that, and you played so prominently into that video.
Yeah.
You know, where I was impressed by you, kind of moderating the whole deal, because he was accusing his sober manager of feeding him drugs, which just didn't make any fucking sense. Like, sober people don't feed people drugs.
I know his manager, which just made that particularly upsetting for me.
Right. I felt that you did a very good job of being like objective, like not like, you know, like very, you moderated the situation very fairly.
Yeah.
You
Thank
know?
you. Appreciate
that. And it made me kind of fascinated. And then out of nowhere, like the kid reaches out to me.
Really? Oh, wow.
I think it was like, and I was like, "Fuck, man, cool, dude. Yeah, let's do it."
Right.
So we get him on the podcast, and he's like, "Yeah, man, it's great. I've got this tour, man. It's almost sold out. Like, and you know,
That's the one he canceled.
dude. Like, I mean, dude, he was talking about this tour being almost sold out, and like, oh, it's just great. Now I'm like in this great place, and just got out of rehab, I'm totally sober. I'm gonna go on tour, big success. And like that podcast came out, like, and the next day, like
Yeah.
the tours, you know.
I mean, when I talk about loving yourself or like acting in your own best interest, I mean, Xan is just clearly somebody who struggles with that, because it's so obvious that he just has to wake up, work on music, and then like tour, do shit for his fans, just like stay on that path. And he just like has always had a hard time staying focused, man.
Yeah, it's gnarly, man. And that's the other thing too, is that in speaking with him on my podcast over the course of that hour, fucking, I fell in love with the kid.
He's a great kid, yeah.
I fell in love with him. I really, you know, rooting for him. I remember, like, at the beginning of every one of my episodes, I give the episode an adjective, and I call that a redeeming. You know, welcome to a redeeming wild ride. You know, I've got this kid. We're really rooting for him, and it just seems that he's got some more getting in his own way.
Right, 100%. Okay, I wanted to say this. I was always a Ryan Dunn fan. In particular because I grew up riding BMX bikes, and he showed love to it multiple times, where there was Jackass footage of him. Either there was like a BMX brand, Lil Devil, and he'd be rocking their shirts and shit. So we thought he fucks with us, because we're always looking at skateboarders like they're the coolest motherfuckers, and they got all the money and the girls, and they're the famous ones. And then like just to see him fucking with the culture, that meant a lot to us early on.
Yeah, on the BMX, colliding with trees.
yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Ryan was. It's so notable to me that he was okay with being given the moniker Random Hero. Like, whereas I have always been such an attention whore. I am such a self-absorbed, self-important, like just egomaniacal, fucking attention-seeking lunatic, that if anybody tried to call me Random Hero, I would have lost my fucking mind. I would want my credit. I would want my name. I would want like, and Dunn just was, it's just the opposite of that. That's what Dunn was, just so the opposite of that. He had just like the ego was, oh, Random Hero, great. Like oh, you want to have me in your project and like not even give me any credit, like call me random hero, like as a way of like even making a joke out of how you don't think I deserve credit.
Right.
And like he was okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, like that kind of spoke a lot to who he was. Like he was pretty really well-adjusted, not like fame-hungry, ego-driven. You know, like he was a real-ass dude.
Was it hard to keep going with the Jackass thing at a certain point because he was such a big part of it?
I mean, we didn't. Like, the Jackass 3D came out in October of 2010.
Right.
Ryan passed away in June of 2011, and there was no more activity with Jackass until 2020.
Right.
So it was like 10 years. Like, now,
was that more of a natural break, or was that kind of because of that?
I mean, I think there were a lot of factors involved, and I was shocked as hell that after there being no activity with Jackass for like 10 fucking years, like all of a sudden Knoxville wants to do a fourth movie. Like, huh? You know, like that caught me off guard, man.
Because you had moved on mentally. You were like, this is just a thing that we did in the past, and we moved on.
I thought that ship had sailed.
Yeah.
I thought that ship had sailed, and I had. I mean, I've just always been. Even when I was on drugs, I was a fucking hustler, man. I was always like I might have been going the wrong direction. I might have been, but I was always moving.
Right.
You know, I was always doing something, and for that whole 10 years. I dove into the YouTube thing.
Right.
You know, like I got on that digital hustle, and so I felt pretty comfortable that I was building my own momentum. I had my own stuff going. Like I kind of was going to be fine either way.
Right.
When the idea for a fourth Jackass movie came up, like it was a no-brainer for me because I'd never stopped doing fucked up shit. You know, I was pushing myself on my own.
For sure.
I was there were even emails going around over those years. You know, like one of the guys would be like, "Hey, come on, let's make another movie," and I would reply like, "Yeah, man, fuck, I'd rather make a movie than a stupid fucking YouTube video." but it's one or the other. I don't care.
But does it really feel like that? Because the thing with YouTube is you have complete control. You do whatever the fuck you want. The movie thing, there's a million people involved.
Right.
A million.
Dude, 100%. And here's what's crazy. It was 2013, you know, like Jackass came out in year 2000. And 13 years later, I still had not learned how to properly edit footage on a computer. You know, like I was just a slave to the establishment. You know, if I was in a movie or a TV show, it was because some fucking asshole in a suit in a boardroom said that was okay. You know, like I was talent. You know, I had no like hand in the production of shit. And I remember 2013, Knoxville was making the Bad Grandpa movie, and God, that's fucking stung, dude, because it was like Jackass presents Bad Grandpa. It's the new Jackass movie.
Right.
And we're not in it.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, dude, Knoxville Timberlaked us. You know?
Beyonce'd you.
Yeah. And now I'm the Jackson 4.
Right.
You know?
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. Appreciate y'all.